How's everybody doing? Welcome to our FEH Channel predictions, which will be happening literally tomorrow as of this video going live. So I wanted to make a preemptive assumption prediction analysis video based on the previous FEH Channel, what we're going to most likely see here. This is going to be using all the data we assumed from the previous FEH Channel and kind of go with how they kind of format these things. So I'm gonna go start and stop a lot of the time here, and we will go through every little point to try to kind of guess at what we're going to get out of the FEH Channel coming up. I'd say there are some pretty cool things coming up, hopefully. I'm definitely hype. Even though I don't show it, I'm definitely hype. But for those of you that want to know, I will be giving my live reaction on Twitch, like I usually do, just as the FEH Channel is starting. So if you want to come see me live as we spam those Twitch whoa faces, as they're known as poggers, come and join us then, because I'm definitely going to be hyping it up and memeing it up and laughing it up with all you guys there. So come check us out. Either way, let's go in here and go it by step. Before we do start with the video playing, I wanted to take a quick look at my notes. So the FEH Channel, this one coming up is going to be 18 minutes. The most recent one in April was 17 minutes. So they're very similar. I'm guessing anything that is a difference there is just some sort of speaking. It's going to be pretty similar in their presentation, I would say. And we did get a confirmation that on Twitter, Choose Your Legends 2 will not be presented in this FEH Channel, which means it should be pretty content heavy, I would hope at least, and that probably we will get a FEH Channel truly dedicated to Choose Your Legends itself, just like last year. And in that case, we should be getting stuff like picking your free hero or what their skills entail, and maybe some sort of new starter bonuses, because that would be a way to market and bring back the old players that may have dropped out or quit by now. So let's begin. Let's take a look at this one by one.
Hello, summoners. Today I'm in Nifl, the Kingdom of Ice.
Okay, blah 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 blah, hello, summoners, Kingdom of Ice, cool. Okay, we go straight into this. Fad literally just speaks for 1 minute and 30 seconds introducing us. She talked about the winter or spring coming and such from the beginning. She's probably going to talk about summer this time. Hello, summoners! Woo! And that's pretty much what that's going to be. Let's get into the more interesting things. 1 minute and 30 seconds will likely be bloat. If you include the outro as well, it'll be about 2 minutes. This video will likely just be hello and goodbye. Great. Always love filler content. Anyways, the first thing they show is always these amount of orbs, and that's their way of presenting the content or things. I honestly looked at this and thought it was a big debate, because you look at Berkut and you probably think maybe he's going to be added to the summoning pool. In this case, I really hope that they do something like this. And then I looked at Anna and it's like, ask her trio refine? Not yet. But maybe that'll be a thing. Hopefully that's what they'll talk about. Anyways, let's get started. The first thing they talk about is the Nana thing, which... Finn! Never forget Finn, guys. Yep. Okay, so yeah, they pretty much talk about the new banner for 1 minute and 30, which is the upcoming part here. They're not going to talk about the Tempest Trials unit, which was Finn here, but they might talk about maybe something in the new mode and how we're going to get something for free. I don't know what that'll be, but for now, definitely they're going to talk about the new banner that's coming up then. We'll do our impressions of that and analysis as we get our skills and maybe stats for that, for when it does release. But yeah, this was Leaf being released, Leaf's banner, and obviously whatever's coming up, they will talk about that then. I do have a minor prediction for what I think that will be, but let's just go through the video first, and then we'll summarize it together.
I bet a lot of you summoners have been waiting for this moment. Leaf will be wielding his own special weapon, the Light Brand. The Light Brand has an unusual effect. Okay,
serious question. Are you guys still, like, Leaf was literally outshadowed by what's happening in a few seconds, right? Leaf is like, oh my god, the final lord is finally in Fire Emblem Heroes, and then look what happens. Yeah, this.
In battle, a mage knight should be equipped with more than just magic, my friend.
Oh, totally replaced. Leaf came out, guys. By the way, here's our ult with Reinhardt. Rest in peace, Finn. And then everybody's upset when the most recent legendary banner came out and Finn's there. But maybe we'll see Swordheart on the legendary banner coming up.
Reinhardt and Olin are back, and with brand new weapons! The Tubicus challenge is over! I wonder what kind of skills they have this time! Leaf, Nana, Reinhardt, and Olin will be part of the World of Thracia summoning event, beginning on April 11th at midnight Pacific time. If you want more info on them, there will be an introductory video released after this FEH Channel broadcast. I'm told that you can recruit Finn as an ally during the next Tempest Trials event! How exciting!
You can recruit Finn.
Looks like they can't wait to get going. Hold your horses. Okay, let's go here.
The next thing they talk about is Roy moving 2 spaces back. No, I'm just kidding. They talk about weapon refines. Then the next 2 minutes of the video is going to talk about weapon refines. And maybe this is their golden opportunity to finally talk about Asker Trio weapon refines. It's overdue. It's overdue. And even though it's a little bit early until the August update comes out, it's not that early. It's maybe like a week and a half, I guess. So I think this is their opportunity to finally get Asker Trio refines. If they don't do that, well, hopefully they do work on some older characters. My prediction is that if they do maybe release Lagus or Fate's Awakening Beasts, which I think might be coming up. I'll talk about that in a bit, but if they do talk about that, this would be a good opportunity to add weapon refines for Fates units that are getting a little bit outdated. For example, we have Selena, we have Laszlo, we have Niles, we have Baruka. Like, these are all units that could legitimately use a weapon refine, so if they're not going to do Asker Trio, then at least some of the old Fates retainers may require a weapon refine, and that would match up with the whole theme of the banner.
It's time for info on the next version update. I've managed to scrape together a big pile of info. Let's take each topic one by one. We'll start with new weapons.
So basically it's just 2 minutes of them talking about the weapon refines, and they'll probably do it again. Weapon refines are very hype. There's no reason why they wouldn't talk about weapon refinements. I definitely see this coming. Even if it's a little early, it's definitely hype, and people always want to see their favorite characters get upgrades in one form or another. They also mentioned Ephraim and Hector getting their upgrades as well. The overdue unit that hasn't got a weapon refine, a side grade, is Brave Lynn, who can get Swift Mulligear. That's the only thing. I guess they could give Thunder Armads to both of the other Hectors, but it seems a little too soon. After that, they do talk about Tempest Trials, and what they do here is they introduce Tempest Trials Plus. Now, Tempest Trials Plus had a lot of significant upgrades here, both that are positive and negative, but what since Tempest Trials recently got the upgrade, they'll probably talk about another mode that does need some upgrades. And my predictions for this would probably be Grand Conquest, maybe Rival Domains, or Tap Battle. I really hope it's not the last one. Tap Plus. Maybe it's a way that they'll introduce Tempest Trials units to give you off for free. But no, they're gonna, maybe they'll talk about accessories. More accessories. I think more accessories is very likely. After that, we had the promo. They mentioned the promo for a good 30 seconds. Since we're currently in a promo, I don't think they'll do it again. Maybe they'll use this opportunity to introduce, I don't know, the ability to buy accessories or something. I really hope that wouldn't be the case. They're currently free, but now, what is probably the most significant and most anticipated change from the previous FEH Channel was this hero rarity change. And a lot of units got demoted here. This was both a positive and a negative again, because if you really liked a lot of these units, it was a good opportunity to add merges from them for the 3 and 4-star pool. But since the pool got bloated as a result of adding all these units in the 3 and 4-star pool, it's really hard to get merges for your favorite characters, like extremely hard, especially the red pool. If you were to target, let's say, Marth, well, he's sharing the 3 and 4-star pool with like over 20 units. And that gives you like a less than 1% chance of pulling him. It's actually easier to get a red focus unit in a lot of cases than it would be to get a Marth. Yes, you had a red circle with 3 Marths show up. Okay, Marth's the most common unit. No, that's an anecdotal example. Please don't say that in the comments that you got like 4 Drogs at once, and therefore it's a 10% chance to pull a Drog, right? So that doesn't happen. Now, what's interesting about this is they want to do something to maybe talk about summoning pool changes or hype up people who definitely love summoning, and summoning is a big part of the game. So my predictions is I don't think they'll demote more units from 4 and 5-star, which are currently pretty limited. They only have stuff like Tail 2, Soth, and Nana, big ones that come to mind in Legault. So I don't think they're going to be demoting them yet. That might happen later. But there are still a lot of units in the 5-star pool that are quite disappointing to pull. So I would expect them maybe to talk about Luke or Mist or Julia, for instance, from 5-star locked units getting demoted, because they don't really have like the greatest of fodder, and they're just disappointing. It's really de-incentivizing, demotivating, and people can honestly just quit the game if they end up with these units. Like, it's really frustrating. So they don't want this like low quality plaguing up the 5-star pool. Another cool thing they might actually, maybe if they do keep like Mist in the 5-star pool, they might start adding like a weapon refine to her. Makes her like unique. So if they do decide to keep her there, maybe they'll do something like that, and that could be during the weapon refine info. Another thing that I sincerely hope they do is maybe just talk about adding old Tempest Trials or Grand Hero Battle units finally in the summoning pool. And the reason I think this is because they're rerunning Mass Marth, and if they're going to somehow add these really popular Tempest Trials units back, like Marissa or Joshua, Clive is still kind of popular for some people, even Tobin. Like there's a lot of these old units that if you've been playing anytime after, I believe it was May or June of last year, you totally missed out on Tobin, and he's never going to come back. So this is a good opportunity to put them back. But if they do, maybe they'll restrict who they put in the summoning pool. Maybe they won't put somebody like Black Knight in there for him being so good, Mass Marth, because he's technically been rerun like thousands of times, and they can just keep doing that. So yeah, I think they could definitely do that, and I hope they do that, because there's a lot of popular units that need to be in there. Finn. And it also gives more options for weapon refine if you think about it. Could Finn get a weapon refine? Because now that he's in the summoning pool? Maybe. At the end of these hero rarity changes, they do talk about more quality of life stuff, as you can see here. New home screen banners, improvements to the friends list, friend cap, and hero merit cap. Now, I definitely think they'll talk about the HM cap. They generally do announce HM caps in FEH channels. Every single HM cap has been announced in a FEH channel, except one. That was the Tellius Micaiah banner with Zelgius. That was unannounced, but generally they always do, so I expect them to do it again. That means you guys need to bring out your farming, and everyone's going to start farming again. Yes. Some other quality of life changes they might add here are a barrack size increase, since we're getting tons of new Tempest Trials and Grand Hero Battle units. We're starting to get more clogged. They could maybe add a reroll button to Arena Assault so people don't just keep entering in and out. Maybe they'll improve Arena Assault fishing in one way. Maybe they won't be so random in that aspect, or arenas in general. We'll see. So there's minor changes here that they might announce, but generally those are all nice things. So after that, they do talk about a new Grand Hero Battle rotation. This is for a good 2 minutes. That's why Berkut was selected here on the blue.
The 7 Grand Heroes you see here will be added to the daily rotation. Don't worry.
Now, I did check to see how many Grand Hero Battle units are not in a rotation, and that ended up being Fallen Takumi, Kana M, Julius, Leon, Linus, Oliver, and Sias. That is exactly 7. And I think it would be okay if they were added into another rotation. I don't think it'll happen yet, just because, well, Fallen Takumi is going to be rerun. So if they did like add him in a rotation, that just doesn't really make sense. He's going to be in a rotation and he's going to be rerun. I mean, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. That's very unlikely. But what they could do is they could add him into the summoning pool, and I don't think that's impossible because, well, if you look at the old like special maps, you had Stall and Olivia and Sophia and these other units that come for free out of a special map, but they're also in the summoning pool. So I don't feel there's any harm in having special maps dedicated to the free units, the Grand Hero Battle rotation, and them being in the summoning pool. Additionally, maybe they add in something like a BHB Elite. And the reason that would work is because Grand Hero Battle Elite quests are a thing, and they encourage you to use blessed teams, or they encourage you to use cavalry or flyer teams or something. And I've always enjoyed those quests. I've completed it on both my free-to-play and main account, and I would definitely enjoy it again if they added Bound Hero Battle as a Grand Hero Battle Elite mode. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe they'll announce that like a 2x HM weekend. Please. They'll definitely use this opportunity to also talk about whatever the new Grand Hero Battle unit might be. So whatever it's related to the current banner that's coming up, they usually do a Grand Hero Battle announcement related to that banner. So this one was Sias because they announced a Thrashia banner, Thrashia 776. So yeah, I expect them to probably announce a Grand Hero battle related to whatever those new hero banner might be. And I already said that it would likely be Lagoose units or Beast units from Fate's Awakening. So this might be like a Beast unit. We'll see. Okay, and then the biggest change that they announced was, well, not change, but they introduced a new mode. They used a lot of time here. This was a good 5 minutes of talking about Grand Conquest. They needed a lot of exposition and a lot of time to explain the new mode. So that means, considering the FEH channel is 18 minutes long, I highly think they will be introducing something new, a new mode, something to engage people back into Fire Emblem Heroes. So they did Grand Conquest. My guess is probably some of the stuff we saw in the survey of last year of December. They had a survey that was like, what do you guys want to see? What are you most interested in? Well, one of the things they mentioned there was a castle mode, kind of like a build your own castle or something like that. Think of like Fates. If you ever played Fire Emblem Fates, you had your own castle and you kind of built it the way you wanted to and you interacted with it. So maybe they'll add like some shops in there, maybe a skill shop, a weapon refined shop or something. I don't know. I don't know, whatever. Discounts. I have no idea what they could do, but there could be some cool ideas there. So maybe that's their opportunity finally to release it. They've had enough development time now that I feel like it could come out. This also means that there's a good opportunity to integrate it with your friends list. So now that we have 100 friends, definitely there's more opportunities for that. Maybe you can battle your friends, your arena defense teams, and that would be totally cool because I really want to interact. I want more friend features. So if you're able to like battle your friends' defense teams, that'd be great. And I would definitely be able to do some analysis on like what makes good arena defense teams by being able to play against certain teams, including my own 2 accounts. So please make that happen. And I really hope that I make that prediction correct. Finally, that concludes the FEH channel from previously. So it's going to be around the same length, I would assume. New mode did come with 20 orbs. Woohoo. Just more saving for me, I guess, for the legendary banner. They might end up talking about the new legendary banner coming up. They did when they talked about Fjorm or legendary Ike. So since it's coming up in about 12 days, 11 days, that is a good opportunity for them to maybe talk about legendary banner. If they do talk about it, then yes, I probably won't be doing a legendary banner prediction because they'll just tell you what's coming up. They might also not, because maybe people want to spend their orbs on whatever the new banner is, and they don't want to give people the luxury of choice so quickly since people pull on day one. Either way, as I'll always say, don't pull on day one of whatever the new banner is, especially if it's going to be permanent units. Even though something like Valoria is my favorite beast unit, I'm not going to be pulling day one, even if they're incredible. But I wanted to summarize what I've seen from the previous FEH channel, just kind of like how they've been designing the game, and what I expect from the upcoming FEH channel. Whether I'm right or wrong, you know, it's okay, but I want to use whatever knowledge we have, plus my experience of playing Fire Emblem Heroes. I've noticed that FEH has this kind of like beta testing kind of game design so far. If you've been playing FEH a long time, you notice that a lot of skills that come out always have like pre-testing phases. So we had Follow-Up Ring, which was on Arden, before Bold Fighter and Vengeful Fighter was released. So Arden could have been like the testing to see if the skill was really good. Newsflash, it's really good. Then we had Light's Brand from Leaf, and I consider this kind of like the beta test of Carla's Vassal Blade, because Vassal Blade does the exact same true damage, but just on a different condition, plus her weapon has cooldown reduction. So rip Leaf, I guess. They have their, as units, they have their pros and cons, obviously, but there was a way for them to like test that whole +7 damage dynamic through Leaf. Then next up, they had the new mode Rival Domains, and then they released Grand Conquest. I mean, Faye literally says it in the video.
Right! It's just like the Rival Domains maps! You can find those in special maps every week. So that's how it is. Battles in Grand Conquest play out just like they do in Rival Domains.
See? She even admits it right here. So, I mean, there's a lot of this like testing phases of whether modes are popular, and then they expand upon it. So what I want to lead into is that, yeah, the wave skills that have been coming out recently, we've had Odd Attack Wave, even Speed Wave, and Odd Res Wave. Even Hellbindi had his like Omega Wave skill on his weapon, but those skills, if you've actually traced them into Fire Emblem history, Fate's beast units did have those as personal skills, where they were stronger on odd turns or even turns, for instance. So, and even if you actually consider like Lagoose from Telia series, they even had biorhythm as a thing, where like on, this is applicable to all units, but definitely on like some turns they were stronger and some turns they were weaker. So even before Fates, they had this whole system. And remember, beast units kind of came out from Tellius. They were usable in that game, so you can definitely like trace it even back further. And you know, some units were stronger on some and not so good on others turns. So yeah, I think this would be a golden opportunity for them to release Lagus units, and the wave scales that we've been seeing or beta testing for what could be on like beast stones, for instance. Beast stones could have their innate effect. So if you compare it to dragons, for instance, dragon stones always have adaptable damage. They hit a unit and it targets their lower defense or res if they're hitting a ranged unit, of course. Beast stones can have a unique effect where they're stronger on either an odd turn or an even turn, and there could be a bonus stat associated with whatever Lagus or beast unit it is. So I feel like that could be a thing. One other thing I wanted to mention is that there's a lot of beast units that are very popular. I went and examined Choose Your Legends 2, and we had like Selkie at rank 21. This is really high. This is overall. You had Keaton at 34, Penny at 44, Caden at 46, and Valyria at 54. Just as a heads up for those of you guys that really like to barn, he was 6th place. I just didn't bother putting him here. So yeah, there's some really popular in the top 100 beast units, and we've had a lot of units been released, but these guys still haven't shown up. So this is a good opportunity for them to finally release them. I mean, they will make a lot of money. Finally, my one and final wish that I hope they do for the FEH channel is please bring back Tempest Trials units. Please add Marissa to the summoning mold. Please make Infantry Pulse more accessible. Make Wind Sweep more accessible from Joshua. Yeah, I say that, but you know, that would be awesome. And maybe Black Knight in the summoning pool. It's not so bad to have a 3 or 4 star Black Knight. We'd have more of an option than just Drog. And I don't think it would be oppressive. I just don't. Like, they'd be just cool to have a +10 Black Knight for people that don't have to spend like thousands of dollars. So that's my one sincere wish. I hope that they do it. And yeah, guys, if you have any predictions you want to make or what you're most anticipating from tomorrow's FEH channel, please let me know in the comments below. If you're not already subscribed to the channel and you love the educational content that we provide here in the Akariss Academy, please click that sub button. And if you liked what you see, give me one of these, okay? I will see you in the next vid, guys. Peace.